Hello, this is Rocky with PrankLifestyle.com, and today I want to talk about crystals, specifically quartz crystals. If you've taken the pranic crystal healing class or read the book, you see about the laser crystal. It's a crystal that's shaped a certain way so that the energy shoots out of the tip like a laser beam, and you have to be really, really, really careful. Where you buy your crystals from, and is it a reputable a dealer? Because there's a lot of funny business going on in the crystal business. If it's really, really big and clear and cheap and kind of light, then it could be just glass. I mean, these guys that make the fake ones are really, really good. They can make them out of just, lab grown or just glass. It's a lot. It's called hydro, and it's really big in certain places. But even like the hydro, it's expensive to make. So, like, if it's really cheap, it's probably just glass, not even like fake crystal. It's just glass. Because if the crystal feels light, right, a crystal should have some weight to it, and whenever you're holding it, you should be able to feel it pulsating when you're projecting energy. If it just feels like cold and there's no pulsation, the energy might not be moving. Because it's really easy to fool people with their crystals. Even a synthetic crystal, you can have it tested and they'll tell you it's real. Like, there's labs, they're all trained by the GIH, the gemstone something. They train people how to spot like fake crystals, but the fake crystals, they can be grown from a seed crystal, like one little piece of a real crystal, and then so the whole crystal could test as real because it has that one little piece of it was grown from a real piece of a real crystal, but it's lab grown. They actually grow it in a lab, and I've seen it before, and they were trying to sell it to me. It's like you can see, like, the way they use electricity and some wires and some other stuff to actually stimulate the crystal to grow. But you can go to AliExpress and like Etsy and be like, oh, I see this crystal here for $10, and how come yours on your website's this much? I can go over there and get it. Or it's like, oh, I can get a really big crystal for a couple $100, and yours is a couple thousand. Why? I'm just gonna go with the cheap one. Well, okay, but if you're doing healing on it, I don't even know if any healing's actually going on, and if there is, there could be severe contamination on you, because like the energy is not being absorbed by the crystal. It's just being like, who knows where the dirty energy is going. Because typically on a natural crystal, it projects and receives at the same time. So if I was cleaning a chakra, it's shooting energy out, but at the same time, energy coming back into the crystal, and then we flick it. And if you're going to go for the goldenrod crystal, you have to watch out for the hollow gold, or the gold that's mixed with other metals, which is fine, I guess. It's like some people were trained to use certain metals, like silver or like other metals with the gold, that actually makes it cheaper to make. But in my, on the Prank Lifestyle crystals, we use solid 24 karat gold, and I'm the only one in the world that I know of that is actually doing that. And I remember when I started doing it, they were like, that's impossible to do. You can't put 24 karat gold in it. All my gold my gold guys were like, oh no, you can't do that. You can't put 24 karat gold in the crystal. It's too soft. You can't do it. And I was like, whatever, and I did it. And so, like, when you're using a natural crystal with solid 24 karat gold, the energy just moves like lightning. Because as we all know, gold is like one of the highest conductive materials on the planet. So spiritual energy can also be conducted through the gold. like 10K gold. Like a lot of the crystals, they could be 10 karat gold, but it won't say what type of gold it is. It could be 10K or 18K, some maybe even 20K. But something you have to watch out for on the ones that are really big and cheap is the gold is hollow. So it's like not even all gold, plus it's hollow inside, right? And they won't tell you that. They'll be like, oh yeah, the crystal, you can get it, oh, Rocky's got crystals for $3,000, but I got it here for, $1,500 or $1,000 or $900. But yeah, it's 10K hollow gold, and whether it's like, you just have to be sure you get it from a reputable dealer, because there's a lot of funny play going on, a lot of cheap stuff, and like the saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. But anyways, as far as crystals, it's better to spend more and make sure that, because like the ones we make it from the raw stone from Brazil, and sometimes the Himalayas, but like typically it's from Brazil, and I get the raw stone, the raw crystal itself, so I know they're real. They're made from the real stone. But something else you have to watch out for is like, if they're not trained in the crystal making, they might, if the stone is really big, like the raw stone, they might cut it sideways, or they might cut it reverse on the excess. Because like in the ground, the crystal forms a certain way and comes out the tip. But if they don't understand how that energy moves, they could just take that crystal and then make the point side the back, and then now like your crystal is like the energy is like going the wrong way, even though you think it's like going the right way. And something else you have to watch out for on the cheaper ones is like the facets have to be even or nearly even, because like on like my more expensive crystals, the facets are perfect. Like you could take a ruler and measure them. Each facet on the side is completely symmetrical, and then all the way down to the tip is straight and perfect, so the energy comes out perfectly straight. But if the crystal is like kind of lopsided, the one facet's this thick and the next one is this thick, or this wide, and then the tip, it might be going off to the side a little bit. So, you're thinking that you're pointing at somebody, but the energy could be veering off to the, but, I guess as long as you're using an intention and it's like, I'm going to do it, this is healing that chakra there, and this is where the energy goes, then it should go. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some funny things, even crystal, like I had one crystal, it had a piece of like black tape in it, like a strip of tape. It looked like a cassette tape, remember the old cassette tapes, or a ribbon. It looked like a little ribbon, black, solid, metal looking ribbon type thing inside the crystal. And when I saw that, I was like, what is this? Like, this is not, like, how could there be a man-made object inside this crystal here? And I have a theory on that, but we'll come back to that later. But so I had it tested. I sent it to the GIH, which tests crystals and gemstones, and they said it's real. And I was like, okay, but there's a strip of stuff in here that's not natural. It's not like, it's going to naturally end up in the crystal. A piece of like perfect strip of like ribbon looking stuff, but it was tested as real. And so I was like, okay, interesting. I have a theory on that, but that's for another video, on how how something like that could have gotten in there. I mean, there's a lot of theories on the crystals, and we'll go into that in another video, because I go a little bit esoteric, and some of the things might seem a little out there. But anyways, check out our crystals at pranklifestyle.com. Have a good day.